Thanks for joining me. This is JD Concepcion with Stealth Products, and I am going to walk you through how to create a seating template. Hopefully, you have seen the previous video we put on the seating configurator and how to spec out or quote a back cushion or whatever seating components you need. If you have not seen that, please go back and watch that video because it will help you navigate through the seating configurator. This is simply to set up a template, some of your most common seating options, backs, cushions, what you commonly provide or spec out for your client. So I'm going to move right into the quote process here because as I said, the previous video covered all those things. And I'm just going to spec out a quote and we'll walk through that. So I'm not going to go into any of these other things that are here. I'm going to do a kind of a common seating quote for my area, which would be, let's say, cushion, back, and headrest. It could be any components that you normally do, anterior supports or hip guides or even pelvic belts, whatever you normally set up or spec for your customer. So let's get into that. And I am going to opt for, as I said, a cushion, a back, I'm going to say a flex in this case, and a headrest. So I'm going to move through this relatively quick so that you can see it, and we'll just move forward. So in this case, I'm not going to spec a width and depth because I want to be able to pull this template moving forward and use it for a variety of sizes. So hopefully that makes sense. For the foundation foam, if you have, again, a standard configuration that you like, this foundation foam allows you to build from that. So your anti-thrust or your contour, your adductor or abductor, it's important to have that because that's your structure for those items. I'm going to say in this particular template, I'm generally going to do the Sealth, which is the wipe-off material, and I'm going to set up a standard foam layer that I'm going to use. So I'm going to say 1 inch of soft and then 1 inch of extra soft. So that's going to be my standard configuration. And again, if you haven't seen the previous video, go back and watch that, but I cover what the error messages are. In this case, I'm going to set up, click the contour, which is what I'm looking for, and this full contour. But I am not going to set any of these measurements because that's going to change based upon what my seat width and depth is. So I'm going to save that and move on. No leg length discrepancies, no growth notches. Maybe I do a hamstring relief commonly for foot propellers. Again, you can set that up in this particular system. I'm going to say ultra lightweight gel poly cover, very common. And I'm going to move on to my seating solution here. So in most cases, I'm seeing we're adding these to a seat pan, so I'm just going to opt for none of that information. Go to the back, and again, in this case, I'm not going to pick a back width or depth because that's going to change based upon the seating client and what we're looking for. But I am going to say I commonly do, for instance, a modular, and I'll select that. And I will select Stealth cover. So again, you see the messages, and I've covered that in the previous video, but just your standard, what you normally do. I'm gonna say we do 1 inch of HR here and a 1/2 inch of extra soft is my contact layer. You can do embroidery, but I'm gonna pass on that in this particular situation. Let's say we're going to do a cane mounted system. I'm going to say it's 1 inch cane mounting, and I'm going to opt for our Simple Solutions 2-point grate because it's the most common. Head solution, I'm going to say Comfort Plus because it's definitely the most common. 10-inch. Sorry, unclick that. 10-inch. Boom, there it is. And then the hardware that goes with that headrest. So I'm going to say link style, and this 12-inch vertical stem is perfect for this particular situation. So we've got all these items, it's all quoted in here, but you can see there's some information missing on the contour of the cushion, the width and depth, and then the flex, the width and height of the back. So up here, you'll note that if you haven't seen this before, this is an added feature. And it's a save template. So I'm going to click save template there, and I can go in here and name this anything. So I'm going to call it Adult Flex. Great. I'm going to save that, and it will stay in my system. You can add as many as you would like. I'm just going to save and close this. And I can functionally go into a system here. So if I'm going to go ahead and say done with this system. Great, that pops up in my quotes. Let's say I want to do a new quote. I'm going to click here. I'm going to add my seating components, custom seating, and then that's going to populate here. And then you'll notice I have an apply template that's up top here. So if you have multiple templates, for instance, I will just pick this one. Yes, it will overwrite. It's going to push all that data that you previously selected, and you will see that information populate here quickly. So again, you can set these up and have as many as you want, and then just go in and spec out. In this case, you'll note that the pricing here is exactly the same as the previous, but I can go into my seat solution and say, okay, in this case, I want an 18 by 20. Great, we've solved that. Then I need to do my settings here for the anti-thrust, the seat depth, how far back we want that, the adductor height from the surface, the depth, just picking here, doing this very quickly, and then moving forward. So down to back solution, let's say it's 18 by 20 tall. Pick that. Great. And all the other stuff is picked. So again, if you are, hopefully you've watched the other video, but it covers all that. So you'll note down below here, everything's good to go. I can save and close this, and now my quote's done. So you're able to do a quote very, very quickly, and then push that information on. So for you providers out there speccing it, make sure you save that information. Some of your most common things, you can set it up for peds in the old school planer systems. You can set it up for your standard adult, maybe in a skilled facility, but you can have as many as you like. So hopefully this helps everyone, and we appreciate your time, and thanks for watching this video.